running when he was in the service. Which were taken by his mother. This is Layla and Ronnie. Layla had just graduated from Ithaca and Ronnie from Susquehanna Consolidated. This is Uncle Fred Martin, who's married to my Aunt Lisa. This is up on East Windsor Road, just about where Warren and Bill Neeson lived. Pilgrim Holiness Church, looking down towards the village. It's up on Trim Street, up by the American Legion, Kent Street. Looking down over where the highway is now. That must be the house at the bottom of Academy Street. That may be Prague Pen. This was Perth Amboy, New Jersey. On the Atlantic. This is down there in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, on Old Route 11. Mom and Dad down at their house on Academy Street. So the porch is still on. Debbie was probably 9 years old. My grandmother and Grandfather Dean. Cynthia Men's Chorus I sang with back in when I worked at Bender's. This is nephew Dean, probably a year old, year and a half. Dad used to wrap Christmas presents. A lot of time. This is Christmas up at Dwayne's, 1959 or so. Mar's brother Billy is, I think it was a 22, it might have been a shotgun, I'm not really too sure. Deb's first toe shoes. This was a Croatia Christmas song that Lima Fleischleben, our German exchange student, sent. And it was hand-carved. Looking down Academy Street towards Chapel, you can see the old Fletcher house. And this was before the church burned. If you look between the Fletcher house and White's old house, you can see a little bit of the old church. This is Wagner's house across the street. A lot of snow that year. It was in the winter, January, February of 1960. This was down the Brushville Road, down outside of Susquehanna. New Year's Day. This is also Brushville. That nice. This was Oak Hill. Down near Great Bend, Red Red Rock, it's called. Here you go. There's Twinkle in her Christmas stocking. That's folks' Christmas tree. This is school production at Railhead Elementary School in Rumpelstiltskin. That's Alan Plump and the Red Bricks making this. Dwayne and Dean and Doug out on the toboggan. We got a lot of snow that year. Oh, this looks like Wells Silver now right beside him. I bet it is. And Rudy Z-Shine. This is the cottage up at Goodyear, at Cayuga Lake, near Interlake in Lethia. Dean Head. Spent a lot of time up there. This was the boathouse. He had his little 14-foot Chris Craft. Run around on the lake and stuff. Left to dry hill. They made only about 10 when he left north. And we're looking across to, probably Wells College, Aurora. On Olins, above Aquaga, Shetland Ponies. The view of our bedroom window when we lived on Maple Avenue. The apple blossoms in spring. Windsor down there, Cowles Farm. Jesse Cowles. Spring. Green just coming up. Apple tree on Jeffers corner of Church and Maple, Chapel Street. These were Scottish Shorthorn cattle at Warden's, right next to before the high school is now. This is Lael up at Flat Rock. Some kind of a picnic. I don't know if it was a choral or something in the school or the church. And that's Debbie sitting right next to Lael here with the red breeches on. This is down near Hawkins Pond or Blatchley, someplace in that area right after a flash flood. It's Lael and Geraldine Quimby and Jerry's in front of them. Here's Twinkle and this place ain't down at the store. It's their favorite place to sleep. Their flowers, I believe, up at Harry Ann's on Prospect. This is Leo and Loa. First son. 1961. Lisa, Leo, Aunt Frances, the cottage, painting, something. The Catholic Church in Susquehanna. Doug and Dean up at my grandmother's cottage on the cliffside, Goodyear Lake. Marv and Deb, Mom, Grandma Dean. There's Uncle Floyd piano and Skeet. Up in the boat. Up, and Kathy both out. Floyd, Skeet, and Debbie. This is looking south on Goodyear Lake down towards the dam. There's Dale. see Grandpa Dean in the background right behind me. And here's Dwayne riding on the inner tube. We used to have more fun with those tubes. And Skeet. There's Grandpa Washburn working on the roof of the cottage. Must have been leaking. These are the Schwans at Stewart Park in Ithaca. We were on a sports car rally, and that's where we had lunch. Statue in the square at Owego. On the way home from an auto race at Watkins Glen. I'm not too sure where that was taken, but the colors were beautiful. Village Green and Windsor. Bill and Laura were either on their way out to eat or on their way to Goodyear Lake. Dean and Doug up to Goodyear Lake. Dwayne and Dean and Grandpa, Doug. Down at the cottage, it's Mitch Bowman having a Halloween party. I think that's Layla in the white coat and probably Mary Lou Paquette right behind Mitch. Marvin Wayne and I think Midge again. You blow flour into the pan and it bounces back and covers your face. Ronnie washing this 55 Ford he bought from Ivan Serrano. This big money. There's Lisa carrying the dummy out to the car. We had the dummy hanging up in the tree for the party. There's Dad out there and Ronnie. Dad's old 50 Buick and 56 Buick that he had. It's Ronnie and Lisa fighting for the hose. Back when Dad used to put a lot of time and effort in the Christmas wrapping. And Stuart. And Dean and Doug. Down behind George Merwin's house, the creek comes down along the park and Grove Street. Ronnie's deer head, they got decorated every year. This is the creche. There's your seat down at Mother and Father Washburn's. There's Lisa's stuffed animal collection. This is the Christmas tree down at Washburn's. This was our first Christmas together. This was the apartment over on Maple Avenue. Christmas cards. Christmas tree. Christmas of 1960. This is when Law first came home from the hospital. It's the second picture taken of her. This is down on the dining room table down in Susquehanna. This was Loa's first picture. She is in her bassinet. That was a wicker launder basket with what his mother built a covering for. This is the day that Loa was christened. It's Nellie and Mom and Anita and Lachey. And this is Loa in her baptismal outfit. And here she is with Mommy and Grandma Nye and Great Grandma Dean. This was up at 271 Chestnut, my grandmother's. This is Lisa feeding Jeffers' pony. Not behind our house, we'll go down the church street. He's Lisa mowing the lawn, maybe Judy Truex. I don't know. This was Jeffers' pony. That's the back of Loa's house before the porch was put in, before the garage was built. This is Layla and Loa down at the cottage. She was a wee one. These are storm clouds, not to roll in. I think this was up at Goodyear Lake. Guess who? I think this is down at the cottage. Can't tell who's holding it. Lisa. This is Lisa down by the little cottage we're running into. Just Loa down at the cottage. A little unhappy about something. Jerry Parks, I believe, used to dock his boat up here. Queen of the Nile. This is back when we lived next to where Loa is now. This was the Labor Day fish catch, 42 fish they caught all day long. Mom and Dad. Dean Stewart. Some massive fish. Big old pickerel and a bullhead right behind him. This is a pair of long underwear that floated between families. Every time they had to come up with a gag gift, somebody got stuck with it. This is Dad's birthday. Love it. It's Marg, Grandpa, me, Mom. I don't know who's in the high chair. If that's Loa, must be Loa. And Grandma Dean. There's Grandpa and Doug and Dean and Dwayne. Mom and Grandma. This is Ron and Nancy. Loa. I think Ron may have still been in the service and driving back and forth to Virginia. Layla and Loa out of our house. Church Street. Loa laying in the crib. Susquehanna. Charlie Brown Christmas tree. The original spike. This was Laura's first birthday. Further on, mowing the lawn, down at the cottage. We're jovial mood. It's 62.9. Nancy on the porch. I'll take my cards. 62. This is on the road between Keene and what's the? This is as we cross Rack Lake. This is Art and Joyce Beard. Smoke road and noticed down at the cottage. I worked with Art at Bennett's. So. Here's the road down at the cottage. Leo and Bullock. Leo and her mother and wooden croquet ball trick. This is fireworks down at the old Windsor School. This is Red Lauterbach and Amy. This was Debbie and Rumpelstiltskin. Rapunzel, throw down your line here. Devin Evans, Debbie. That's Bobby Rounds in one of Layla's maternity outfits on the right. Nancy and Leah at the school. It's Loa in the foreground and Johnny Gell in the back. coming out blanks. The flowers were just magnificent. Christmas tree on Church Street. Interesting double exposure. That's Jim Goodison on the left, Blaine and Corky Latham. Superimposed over Veterans Day Parade. Back, and the band director to 10. Standing right beside him was the trombone as well, so I just realized that behind Jack is Linda Matthews. Picnic down the cottage. It was Methodist men and their wives, or pairs and spares, I'm not too sure. I think that's Jim McHenry right in the middle in the yellow shirt too. On the back steps over on Church Street, next to Paul's house. Cottage, Liz, Mary, Father, Lisa, and Laura. And in the garden, Ronnie and Nancy's puppy, Tammy, and Renton. Lisa and Laura. Memorial Day Parade. More Blaine and their Girl Scout shirt. Color grade, and I think that's real good, right smack in front of us. Okay. 76 trombone. Jerry Conway watching from Billy Green. I think this is Sally Paquette. And I think this is Margaret Guillory down here. That's right. That one might be her. Easter Sunday of 1963. Doing Sharon Beck. This was Dad up at Goodyear Lake. This is a neighbor's dog. I don't even know what the dog's name is. This is me up at the Cove at Goodyear Lake. We're on a sports car rally party. This was Dad's flower garden with the old barn there before they tore it down, before the garage was built. This was up at a clam bake up in Lawrence. This is Mom and Deb right in the front, and Aunt Lethia's right behind Mom. And then Grandma in the rose-colored sweater, and Fred right beside her. These are a little out of sequence. These are back into 1959 again. I just found the row of slides. That's Granddad Dean on the left, Aunt Lethia, Florence Schmidt with her back to us here in black, and John Schmidt, and Grandma in the rose-colored sweater again, and Mom, Dwayne in the background, and these are some cousins here in the front. I don't even know what their names are. You see Skeet standing there in the dark sweater, right over Mom. That might be Lou down here. And Debbie, Dad, Marv, Dean, John Florence Schmidt, Aunt Lethia, Granddad, Skeet. Dad, Dwayne, Mom, Marv. Good clam bake. It's Dwayne on the left, and Mom, Debbie, Granddad, Grandma, Skeet, Aunt Ida Mae. With her back to us. This is Debbie and Grandma's boat. And this is on Cliffside. Over across the lake. This is the camp as it looked then. We'll see later on some slides after they sold it and remodeled. All opened up into the sun porch and the top sleeping porch. This is Dwayne and Dean and Doug out to Wilbur Park, Moniana. We were on vacation. I think Marv was out doing laundry. This. This is down Niwa Park. Good night. There's a flower pot of greens on the floor. Mom, Granddad, Skeet. That's Uncle Floyd Fisher. Grandma's husband. He did a lot of fishing today. This is Skeet and Buck Latham's boat. This is Debbie Swayne. Dwayne and Doug, I think. This is the Nicholson Bridge. Nicholson has it. This is Fred and Alethia's home down in Metuchen. Doug, and Deb, and Jack, Vincent's son John, his name was Warren. There's Granddad in the foreground, and Floyd Fisher up there by the car. And this is Deb in Broken Woods, Wisconsin. Ferris' daughter. I don't remember what her name was. This is Devin Ballangrass. This was Young Garden. 59 is sequence. Dad. It's my skate playing frisbee. Well, this explains what happened to these slides. These are some of the first ones I took when I got the camera. Compare what had happened to this one. There it is. Further on. Catch of the day. Craig Help. He lived down on the lower end of the coast. Front end of my jag. Skating. Dean in the boat and Doug upon the deck. Stewart in the winds. Devin and Doug. She was growing up. It's down the cottage. Dad, Lyle, Francis, you can see her face, and Jimmy and Nellie. It's back at Mom and Dad's house before they put the porch in. Put a sequence between them over back to 1963. This is Sharon's baptism. And this was Dad flying off to Boston, I think, over lunch. I think he'd ever flown before. Timber Pond steps. Oh, there he goes. Mohawk here. This is little holding Sharon. This was Janet Van Adam's wedding. It's their own wedding. Carol Oster's to her left. She just passed away here. 19. Celebrating. This is Janet and Herman Van Adam. This was Layla in the car. Sharon, Grandma Ashford. That's the folks' house. Slowly, that's sequence. Slowly. Hold on. And there's Judy. steps of the carriage. Mom, Lyle, Nancy and Dad. Should be low again. Mission porch. Pick up his flower pots. This is a zoo in Syracuse. We went up to visit our parents. The farm, some of the backyards. Well, I'm sure. Fred and Joyce and Lyle. I'm sure. Try to get the peacock to open up his feathers or tail. Couldn't get up there. And this is Art and Joyce's house, Central Square, above Syracuse. And Sharon, well, it's their birthday cake. Sharon's first birthday cake. This is Grandma and Granddad's 65th wedding anniversary. It's Debbie holding Sharon and Paul and Valerie standing in front of her. I think this is a big Norm Herbert's for Lions Club picnic. I think it's Kate Benton. This was the kids swimming up there that day. I think this is Mrs. Denny in the front. Marie Pompey, Grayson Henry. Those are recognised. That's Lauterbach in the green sweater. I think that's Layla in the white. Al Pompey, Charlie Root. Grayson Henry, Ralph Pompey, Marie Pompey. And this is us Lauterbach and Layla and Sharon. This is Bob Denny and Ralph Pompey on the left. And Mrs. Denny probably. Charlie Root, Bill Vint, Jim Kennedy. This was done at Ted Baxter's wedding down in Downsville, I think it was. It's Layla, Skeets coordinator.
up and done. He left Phoenix right after I did, and he was working at IBM now. And this is David when he first came home from the hospital. Look in the background, it's Lois' house before they put the front porch in. And this is at Ross Park. Here's David. His first outing. Francis and Dave and Lynn and then David. Not sure who that is, but I think it's Beth. Not sure. This is when we lived where John Salt lives now. Winter of 63, 64. I think Matter's was still standing. It looks like it was when it came down that spring. And that's Johnny to the room. Or Dave too. This is Jack Tucker when he went to Selma. See him waiting.
There's Jack with his arm up in the air, waving. This is when we lived over in the house that John Salt lives in. Winter of fall of maybe spring '65. It took me a while to get some of these developed. This is the brew down at the cottage. Sharon in the foreground, Laura holding Jeannie, David, Judy. Here's Laura and Sharon when we lived in Kirkwood. This is Lisa and Mike. This is Leo feeding David down at the cottage. There's Ronnie holding Beaner. Judy, Lola, Sharon. Sharon and Laura and Judy. Sharon at the front porch. There's Laura there too. This is Dr. Sharon. Coming up with a new medication. Sharon, Judy, Loa. It really wasn't that dirty, that's just some marks on the slide. Let's see. Judy. Now this is dirt or mud. Taint the slide. This is Ronnie Stone's 37 Dodge. So 555 Pontiac Mike had picked up. Fixing it? Question mark.
This was at Janetti's for Skeet's wedding. Leah was a few months pregnant for Jen, August, about 3. 2. Skeet and Lou's wedding. Time of day, Skeet and Lou. Lou's milk powder. Devin, some guy that had a real crush on him. And this is Janetti's motel where we stayed. This looks like Halloween of '66. Nancy hats. Sharon and Laura doing David a ride to the back of the house in Kirkwood. This is Fisher's. Here's David. Everybody's favorite toy, an empty box. So that almost looks like that one here. Let's see. I'm not sure. Yeah, December '66. Yeah, it could be. That definitely is. Peter. It's Fred and Lucas, Dachshund, and Peter. Well, this is a Christmas tree someplace, but I don't recognize where it is. That might have been a Lynx party. Down in front of the store. Hello, Sharon and Judy. Sharon and David, and Cindy Gorley, and Karen Pratt. This is Cindy and Laura.
This is the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, Aunt Francis. Just to make this out, it's an antique fire and David and Sharon and Laura and John. This is the oxen at the Farmers Museum. Coos. I believe this is the John Fenimore Cooper house, I think. Remember the pictures of the cottage? Well, this is the cottage. But the only thing left of it is that bunch of tar paper brick right smack through the middle of it. But they've added this room on the side, to the right. Sleeping porch, they'd all enclosed that with windows. Winterized it. This is the side towards the road. Here's Johnny. Mrs. Fisher's trailer in the background. Buffy when she was a kid hanging out of the screen door. Rainbow. Leora. Yeah, down in the back. It's our David on the left. Next door David, poster house. And Donna, I think, or Diane, I don't remember. Loa, Sharon, and Jenny. Oops. That might be me on the motorcycle. Nah, it can't be me. I think it was Ronnie's motorcycle. Here's Rhonda Dawn. So this is Sharon, Judy, Loa, and I think Valerie on the back. I think these were the summer of 1969. David and Johnny and Rhonda at the cottage. Looks like Ronnie and Val. Or Loa. I guess it's Loa, yeah. Marion. That is definitely Loa. David. His turn. Whale and Johnny. Evil Kodachromes. That's David and Loa and Valerie and Marion. This is our backyard that first summer we moved into the house. 1969. We got Sharon and Marion and Johnny and David in front and Val and Loa in the back. This may have been before we bought the house. I think we were going to look at it. Look how small the shrubs are. You see the shrub on the left? It's higher than the house now. This is Nisker. Those are the people we bought the house from. This one bush here on the right, it's what is it, smoke bush or something. That's really good too. And down at the end, you can see Johnny and Sharon, or David and Sharon and Loa. And then this is Johnny right here with his head, or with his back turned to us, right here. There's Johnny and David, the first winter we were in the house. We had about 3 foot of snow, it seems. Had a lot of it. That looks like Loa with her curlers. Just for a little variety, this is a slide we found in the drawer the other night. Kind of out of sequence, but this was Johnny, first summer, 1966. And here's Lil in our backyard. This is Johnny and Loa. Oh, that's looking down towards Harbor Shores, back corner. Okay. It's low on top of the snowbank by where the mailbox is now. Sharon and Johnny. Got all the pine trees there. Look at the pine trees in the background. I bet they aren't 8 feet tall there. And must be 15 or 20 feet high now. This is Christ Church in Bennington, Vermont, and that's Lael and the children in front to the left of the door. This is a covered bridge in Vermont. This is a slide. This is the next one slides in the water of the store. This is down at the old school, Groveland Lane, football field. This is the Kirk Duncan and George Wimmer's house. David Jennings. After fire in Susquehanna, Tennessee, that's the Episcopal Church in the background. It's down there in Automation Services. Training up in Cascade Valley. Tracy Briggs in the middle. Can't quite make out the lines there. Butcher house on the left and the new church. This is up at the chapel at Sky Lake. This was Easter Sunday.
probably 1972. This is Lola with Tina and Kelly. Looks like I'm sleeping. It's definitely the ways of Mom and Lil. One of David's art projects in high school. And again, some of these are out of sequence. This I think was on the way to, it's either down Old Mill Village, on the way to Vermont. I'd say Old Mill Village down Mill. This is when we were in Cape Cod up at the Nye Museum. 1976, I think. This is Scussett Bay Beach. I think that's Sharon Bridge. Lola. I guess David would have been more than one something. Sharon right smack in the middle. And Loa. I think this was a story town or something down near Hershey, I can't remember. Roadside America. I don't know how this got in this sequence, because oh yeah, it was about the same year. This was our campsite up at Sandwich, Cape Cod. The pop-out camper and the screen house. It rained 3 out of the 7 days we were there. This is the boys playing frisbee up on one of the side roads in Sandwich campsite. Sharon and Johnny, David, Johnny, I think. That's David with his arms up in the air. Princess of the Beach. Bill and Sharon and Lola going in the water. is in the Nye Museum. An antique car collection. Series of slides is the old church, and this was before they repainted it. They put the new altar section in there. There used to be a drape there. And you can see the stained glass one. It was so beautiful. We did a Christmas cantata one year in backlit. That's the old communion table. Mary Cole refinished it when we moved into the new church. From the balcony, the old church had a second floor back over the Sunday school. This was after they painted the light gold the walls, some white trim. The altar was painted white with a gold highlight. Draperies behind the altar over the speakers. You can see too that the pews were painted. Stained glass windows. The lilies were arranged in the shape of a cross. This was Mom and Dad's Christmas tree the year that they made all the ornaments. This was up at, we'd gone on a picnic up near Deb's. Dad in the background, Johnny. I think there's little me over on the left. Kind of looks like me, maybe. And there was Mother, before they put the porch on. Looks like David and Johnny. I think Deb. And Lola. Johnny and Sharon. Okay, it's really slender there. Yeah. Me down at my mother's. See, that's Lola, and Lael's in the car. Looks like Deb in the background, and me. That might be up by Skeets when they lived in Shenango Bridge. This looks to be Val's 4th or 5th birthday. I can't count the candles. It's Doug and Dean, Dad, and Sharon, and Val, and Lyle. I think this one's out of sequence too, slightly. Oh, that was the year Dad made the cards out of candy canes or animals. And Brother Dwayne. And there he is again. Big fisherman to meet Brook Reservoir. That's when folks had a porch on the house. The sequence too. This is the new church. As it is today. That must have been the poinsettias and gee, roses for Christmas. I'm feeling this might have been around the time of Deb's wedding. This one really got out of sequence. It's up at Robert Treman Park in Ithaca. This was a big 4-club rally we had with the club out of Rome. Scuck and Star and SCCA. Looks like a row of TR3s. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 in there. And Jim Mitchell over here on the side. There's the Jag over here on the right. TR3. Another Jag. Bagg Sr. Nash Healy, Austin Healy, Jag, Kodachromes, Voices MG, TD over here. Nash Healy was owned by Don Houck at one time. This is Marty Ryan's Corvette. It was the first year the Vet was made. Marty's dad was a doctor here in Windsor. His wife Dee. It's George Maney's Corvette, and Frank Boyce, and has an MGTD. You can see Frank in the gray shirt. Middle in the blue shirt is Frank Simon. Bill Snyder with his back to us, West Foot. Otto and Lois Atkinson. Morris Minor on the right. Studs, I think, Phil Stud. It's my Jag on the right. Bagg Sr and Healy. There's Westfoot's Red Healy and the guy from Rome, other Jag. Bagg Sr's Triumph. He was a regional director of SCCA and a lot of the big wheel in a lot of the sports car events in the United States. There's Bruce Peckham up on a picnic up at Goodyear Lake, up at the Cove. Frank Simon's lot. I'll build an A for him. Houck. Amy Salick. And, Bruce Peckham, and in the background Sherm Decker. Sherm was a big MG racer, one of the tops in the country at the time. His foot and his heel. It was a total. He restored the whole car. This is the start of a rally up in Sydney. Right in the foreground is Volvo 544, I think. Manius Cadet. And on the left is Don Houck's 59 Chevy. The sleeper. Everything. It's June and George Maney and Otto Atkinson and Andy Wilson. Andy had a restored TF. Don Houck and Frank Simon. They're both passed away since they were young. That was Frank's MG. This was during a rally up in, this one outside of Sydney there near the Tall Pines. That's Frank Simon, Wade, Tommy. This was one of the checkpoints. Frank and his MG. He and I used to rally quite a bit together. This is Don Howe coming through the checkpoint. The Chevy. And this is Gil Newson's Ferrari. I don't know what model it was. It's a beautiful car. My Jag over on the left. So some happy campers at Watkins Glen. One of the reasons. In Guilford, they used to go up, take a truck and scaffolding. The Gordon Weaver Miller, I think it was a 1937 Miller. And here's an old J2 Allard. Cousin Brad had one. He used to put Chrysler engines in. It had a Chevrolet engine. It was a homemade car, not a production car. And they could move. And this is Pete Dean's old Rumble Guts. And that thing would move. Gave the Maseratis a run for their money. And this was, can't really tell. I think it was Sterling Moss, as I recall. This would be I think it was 1963 when we all went up to camp. A little change of direction down there in the hard right. This is Bobby Booker. He was a member of our club, and they asked him to drive a Ferrari for a guy in California. But Bob was a real strong runner, several classes over the years. This is Bobby Booker in the Lotus 19, I believe. That was his own car. Blue car with a 95 on it is the Ferrari that he drove in the race. This is the Sadler Special in California. That was also a Corvette motor. The Jags in the background. And there's another way to get a good view. Climb the trees. Don Houck and a Porsche that he restored, Art Fenster. We were running a rally, started up in Norwich. This is before I restored it. This is a Christmas party up at Bill Knudsen's. It's Bruce Peckham and Howie Dingman. It's Donna Marge Hauk, Marge and Lael. Got Al Champlin and Tommy Salick and Sherm Decker. And this was a rally where we had a checkpoint up at Broome County Airport. You see a Mercedes Gullwing or a Mercedes S300 190 in the background there. My Jag here in the foreground. Some curious traveler wondering what was going on. Frank Simon at Keene up the hill climb. That's when he had the Sunbeam Alpine. Look real close, you'll see on the hood, it says Big Bad John. It's a Morgan +4. This is Wes Foote and his homemade rig. That was, I think that was Oldsmobile powered, as I recall. It's been a few years, I can't really remember. And this was Woodruff's Motel, motel that we stayed in when we went to Keene. Some fellow in a brand new Buick Skylark. Crazy. Here's the crew, the radio crew down at the bottom of the hill. Bruce Peckham on the radio, Lael right in front of him, Jan Peckham. This was the ones that were from Scott. Lael in front of the pine tree Inn. There's Wes Foote running the hill in the special. That's what he called it, the Wes Foote Special. I think this was Sherm Decker, I recall. Austin Cooper's. Jean-Guy Pilon from Canada. D-Jag. The fellow on the right is Dickie Spear. I forget who we went up with, Frank Boyce, I think, but he ended up buying my 51 Ford. Gordy Morris, he owned the MG dealership in Oneonta. He's in the back there in the white glasses. This is Jerry Greaves Special. It was Crosley powered. Fiberglass body. Beautiful little car. Woodruff's Pussycat from the hotel where we stayed. This was either George or June Maney. I bet. I think she turned in a better time than he did. This is Pete Dean's old rumble guts right after he flipped it. The roll bar hit the ground 3 times. This is Jerry Greaves in the special. This was at Stewart Park, I believe, on one of our rallies. And this was down Hauk's house when he lived down where Ralph Cooley lived, down the bottom of Academy Street. That was Kenny Gilbert's house in the background. And this is Don's Porsche in the midst of restoration. here it is when he was done. And here's my Jag up at Grandma's. Another picture up at Watkins Glen up in the chicane. This is Don Michel's pup. This is Sharon Decker. I think he was Northeast Regional MG champion in that class. The number 122 car was a fellow I went to Broome Tech with, Connie Kraus, and I had lost touch with him for about 5 years, and here he is on the program. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, so it's quite interesting. There's somebody losing it up in the chicane, going the wrong way. Knizel, he ran the Crosley-bodied Ford. 5 Mile Point. Well, that number 7 is Sterling Moss, and Jeff Bradman in number 11. This is Moss and Bradman again. That's Jimmy Clark. Some spectators came in the easy way. But they didn't give them clearance to take off, so you had to sit there until the parking lot was clear. Dalek. Well, this must have been another Christmas party. It's Lael. I think that was Frank Simon in that mask. Al Champlin. Oh, this is down at his house, that's right. The first Mustang. That was a midship. Phil Hill managed to blow an engine in it that weekend at Watkins Glen, but they never did come out with this car, but that was the first one that was supposed to be prototype. The old Mercedes. Well, Silverdale went to the Glen with us. Ski came down from Clarkson College. A fellow behind the Corvette, I can't remember his name, he worked with me at Bendix and we all camped together. Interior of the Lotus that one of the Rodriguez boys ran. This was Phil Hill. He ran a VRM. This is one of the Jack Brabham. This is an MGTC. Phil Hill and the number 23 when he's running his own stable, ATM or something like that. I just noticed in the background Ford had a whole bunch of 1964 Fords there. I'd forgotten about that. When David and I were there 2 years ago, Ford was sponsoring it. They had a whole bunch of new Mustangs and Probes. And this is Jim and Arlene Ellis and Lael. And their son Craig, I think. And that's a Jag SS 100, around 1937-38. Craig and Leo, Halloween. Leon, the Jag. This was when the XKE first came out. That's a nice car at that point. Goofed it up. That's Jim and Alice back there. This is when Leon, Jim, and Arlene and I camped up here from hard right near the start finish line. It's supposed to be like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're the first ones around. That's a nice weekend. This is sunrise at the Glen. 60, 65, 70 degrees, and that was in October. Halloween and Leo. Early risers. This was Phil Hill's backup car. I think he went through a couple of cars that weekend. Oh, that's got the Ferrari in the line. That's a Ferrari. This was Roger Ward, who won in Indianapolis one year. He didn't win here. This was Jimmy Clark. And this was the Ferrari doing a spin around. This is one of the rare Porsches that ran in those days. I don't know who this was. I don't remember. Jimmy Clark again. This is one of the Lotuses, Rodriguez boys, brothers. This is Roger Ward again, after the car quit. There's Roger heading home. Beautiful country. This was October 3rd and 4th, 63. This was one of the Ferrari backup cars, test car. Graham Hill had the lead here. It's the front car and went on to the race. There's Jim and Carl. I think his name is Carl. He's coming back. So I think about maybe Graham Hill was on there. He won that day. Maybe that was his car. And this is down at Langhorne, about the last year they ran down there. A few guys from Shangle out of it ran. Donnie Yanks and Dutch Road.